10 Facts about the U.S. economy. The United States, the world's most powerful economy, relies on a market economy based on free investment and commercial competition, and has vast resource wealth that represents the country's most important products. CNN indicated that the United States is the world's first agricultural power, both in terms of production and exports, and has the most important industrial production, and its economy is dominated by the service sector. The United States is the largest exporting and importing country, yet its debt remains the highest in the world, but this debt is internal and indicates the strength of its economy. How many people cannot find work? During the Great Depression crisis, 1 in 10 Americans could not find work, and now the unemployment rate is 4.7%, a rate that indicates are very close to total employment. There are some concerns that the unemployment rate is so low because the search for work has stopped due to frustration, which is not counted in the labor force. The so-called labor force participation rate has fallen to its lowest level since the 1970s. How big is the U.S. economy? The U.S. economy is experiencing one of the longest growth spurts on record, but the problem is that growth isn't very high. In recent years, the U.S. economy has expanded at a 2.4% annual rate, below the historical average of more than 3%. The U.S. economy expanded by just 0.8% in the first quarter of this year, and growth is expected to pick up in the spring and summer, albeit at a modest rate. The Federal Reserve expects growth of 2% in 2016. How many jobs have America added? The U.S. economy has been on a hiring spree lately, with the economy adding jobs in 2014 and 2015 at the fastest pace since the boom years of the late 1990s. Employment slowed slightly in 2016, with a notable decline in May. Raising concerns about whether the recovery is starting to falter, the United States has added 748,000 new jobs so far this year, far fewer than in previous years when more than 1 million jobs were added at this time of year. Overall, the United States has added 14.2 million jobs since its employment rate hit a record low in early 2010, a statistic often cited by President Barack Obama. What about middle-class incomes? One of the biggest economic problems in America is that wages and salaries aren't growing much. The average middle-class family earns just $53,657 a year, roughly the same as 20 years ago, according to U.S. Census data. Inequality is growing in the United States, in part because middle-class and working-class incomes aren't growing. What are the fastest-growing jobs in America? While the United States is experiencing a hiring boom, the quality of the new jobs varies. Of the 10 fastest-growing jobs in the country, more than half pay $25,000 a year, according to the U.S. Department of Labor, which doesn't qualify a family of 3 to live a decent life. What about gas prices? Gas prices have fallen dramatically in recent years. Most Americans paid less than $2 per gallon of regular gasoline in early 2016. In June, the cost jumped to $2.33, but that's still a low price. The big drop in gas prices is due to countries around the world, including the United States, pumping record amounts of oil. Lower prices are helping Americans feel richer because they can save hundreds of dollars at the pump. How much debt does the federal government have? While many focus on the fact that the U.S. debt has soared to more than $19 trillion, a better way to look at that number is to compare it to the economy as a whole, to GDP, for example. When you factor debt into your annual income, it becomes clear how easy it is to pay off your debt. Debt in the United States has risen from 35% of GDP in 2006 to 75% now, largely because the government spent more money during the Great Recession to try to revive the economy. What is the average home price in the United States? The recession was partly caused by a housing crisis, and home prices fell as Americans lost their homes due to the famous mortgage crisis, and people lost their jobs and were unable to buy real estate. Before the crisis, the average home price was $222,000, and the good news is that home prices have finally come back down to that level, according to data on home sales from the National Association of Realtors. How much is the interest rate on a 30-year mortgage? It has been difficult to get a mortgage since the financial crisis, but the good news for those who have managed to get a mortgage is that interest rates have been historically low. In May, the 30-year fixed rate fell to just 3.60%, close to the all-time low of 3.35% in 2012, according to Freddie Mac. One reason for the decline in mortgage rates is the Federal Reserve's low interest rates, which are considering raising interest rates again in 2016, which could push mortgage rates, and other lending rates like credit card rates, up a notch. Are wages growing in America? Wages in the United States have not seen a significant increase, despite continued growth and the unemployment rate falling below 5%. Wage growth eventually rose to 2.5% in May, but that is still well below the historical average of 3.5% or more annually. Here are the 10 largest economies in the world in 2024, according to the International Monetary Fund. United States of America annual GDP growth rate, 2.7%. The United States maintains its position as the world's leading economy and the largest GDP, and has steadily maintained its position at the top from 1960 to 2023. Its economy boasts remarkable diversity, driven by important sectors, including services, manufacturing, finance, and technology. The United States has a large consumer market, fosters a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship, has a resilient infrastructure, and enjoys beneficial business conditions. China annual GDP growth rate, 4.6%. China has seen a remarkable surge in its economic progress, moving from fourth place in 1960 to second place in 2023. The Chinese economy relies mostly on manufacturing, exports, and investment. It boasts a large workforce, strong government support, infrastructure developments, and a rapidly expanding consumer market. Germany annual GDP growth rate, 0.2%. The German economy is heavily export-oriented and is known for its precision engineering, automotive, chemical, and pharmaceutical sectors. It derives an advantage from its skilled workforce, strong R&D initiatives, and a demonstrated commitment to fostering innovation. Japan annual GDP growth rate, 0.9%. Japan's economy is notable for its advanced technology, manufacturing prowess, and service industries. Prominent sectors include automotive, electronics, machinery, and finance. In addition, Japan is recognized for its unwavering work ethic, pioneering technological advances, and exceptionally high-quality exports. India annual GDP growth rate, 6.8%. India ranks 5th in the global GDP rankings in 2024. India's economy is diverse and rapidly growing, fueled by key sectors such as information technology, services, agriculture, and manufacturing. The country benefits from its large domestic market, young and technologically skilled workforce, and expanding middle class. United Kingdom annual GDP growth rate, 0.5%. The UK economy is made up of a mix of services, manufacturing, finance, and creative sectors. London serves as a global financial center, attracting foreign investment. In addition, its trade alliances and globalization shape the UK's economic expansion. France annual GDP growth rate, 0.7%. France's GDP is projected to reach $2,920 billion in 2023. France's economy is diverse, with a focus on industries such as aviation, tourism, luxury goods, and agriculture. France is known for its strong social welfare system, advanced infrastructure, and significant investments in research and development. Italy annual GDP growth rate, 0.7%. Italy boasts a highly developed market as the third largest economy in the European Union. The country is known for its influential and pioneering business sector and its hard-working and competitive agricultural industry. Brazil annual GDP growth rate, 2.2%. The Brazilian economy features a wide range of sectors, including agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and services. It is also a prominent global center for agricultural production and exports. Several factors, including commodity prices, domestic consumption, and advanced infrastructure, shape the growth of the Brazilian economy. Canada annual GDP growth rate, 1.2%. The Canadian economy relies heavily on its abundant natural resources, including oil, gas, minerals, and timber. Additionally, the country boasts a thriving service sector, a well-established industrial base, and a steadfast dedication to promoting innovation and technological advancement.